Okay, first of all, let's a bit tied up before we start. First of all, please switch off all your microphones while this presentation in order to avoid all extra sounds, noises. Yeah, thank you. The second thing, during our presentation today and after, you may type your questions in a chat box. Please don't hesitate, don't be afraid. Use this opportunity to ask any appearing question. And I will read them after all speakers finished their presentations, and we will try to reply on all of them. And the last thing I would like to mention is that the recording of this Zoom meeting will be available for all the students after today's meeting in the mail out. So please check your mails. All right, and now let me introduce our speakers today. First of all, I'd like to introduce Ms. Maria Mukaseva, the head of Preparatory Department of the Russian language.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm very happy on behalf of Ural Federal University to greet you on our today's meeting dedicated to the forthcoming academic year 2021-2022. In order to introduce you the process of our new academic year, we are here and we are going to tell you a few words about our preparatory department. So if you don't mind, could you switch the next slide? So a few words about our university. Ural Federal University is one of the leading universities of the region, of the Ural region, and every year we host 35,000 students. Among them, there are more than 11% of international students coming to study to Ural Federal University, quite a lot of scientific staff, and the campus is rather huge as there are more than 14 study campuses. So for the future, we'd like you to be very attentive to what address to come and where to go. And that's why Mikhail, the other speaker, will tell you all the procedure related to all the addresses and places where we are expecting you to come and visit. So the next slide, please. The new academic year, like the previous one, will start on a distant way. So last year, the full year was completely online. So the students were able to come to Russia only at the end of academic year. So we went through the whole academic year online. This year, we are really expecting you to come to Russia, but nevertheless, we're going to start the academic year since the second week of September. And all the procedure we are going to tell you about as well today. So the next one, please. Well, the study year starts online, but it starts offline as soon as you come to Russia, after the borders are open, after the invitation is received, after the you get the possibility to come. The main study building is located on Chapayeva Street. And if you look at this QR code, which is indicated on your screen right now, you will see all the important addresses you will need. So we recommend you to scan this QR code in order to address it a little bit later. You will study on Chapayeva Street, building 20. It's the building dedicated to the preparatory department where you will study the Russian language. It's quite a new building with many different classes and the teachers, and the atmosphere is really nice. The next one. So now I'm going to give the floor to the specialist of preparatory department, to Miss Yulia. She will tell you a few words about the study year.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Russia. Welcome to Ural. We are glad to greet you as UrFU students. My name is Julia. I'm a specialist of preparatory department, and I'm going to tell you some information about the way we organize learning process. So as Maria already mentioned, the distant learning begins, and it includes 6 or 8 webinars per week. And the amount of webinars depends on individual learning rate of each group, and it is defined by teacher. Self-study is very important in the learning process, and you will have 12-16 hours of self-study per week. So total amount of Russian language hours per week is 28. You will have your first midterm test in winter 2022. During this time, you can choose whether to stay in Russian language group and continue studying language, or to join profession-oriented group, which has not only Russian language, but general subjects as well. You will have your final exam in June 2022. Both exam sessions twice a year will provide you with the official certificate. So next slide, please. Thank you. As studying begins, at least 2 days prior to your first lesson, you will receive a greeting letter from university email, which you can see on screen. It will contain a list of questions which you need to answer in the response letter. This list of questions contains some general information about you. And please, before the lesson start, make sure that you have stable internet connection, video and audio availability, and Russian keyboard on your personal computer. This is very important technical stuff, and as you can understand, the distant learning depends on it very much. Next slide, please. Now I'm going to tell you a few words about entrance test. When you receive your greeting letter, one of the questions will be, have you ever studied Russian language? And if you have, we will suggest you taking an entrance test. Entrance test includes 3 multiple choice tests, which are grammar, reading, and listening, writing task, and a short online conversation with your teacher, in Russian, of course. The entrance test aims to define your current level of Russian and choose the best group for you. If you never studied Russian, you will be automatically put into a group which starts learning Russian from alphabet. If you never studied Russian, you do not have to take entrance test. Thank you. Next slide. Now I'm going to say a few words about how the studying process is organized. You will study in groups which have no more than 12 students. And each group has a tutor. Tutor is a teacher who helps his or her students with learning process and serves as a link between a student and our university. Your group tutor helps with questions about the schedule, understanding university rules, and use of educational platform of UrFU. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask your tutor. And don't forget that all of us university specialists here, we are always ready to help you and give you support and advice. Sorry. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Julia. And now I would like to introduce Mr. Michael Kapirin, Manager of the Department of International Educational Programs. Michael.
Yeah, I would like to greet you, everyone. I have been in contact with you since the beginning, I believe. And yeah, so here, please take a look at the slides. There are a few simple steps that you will have to undertake in order to travel to Russia. And the first thing I want to mention is that we are really expecting your invitations to come very soon. And just today in the morning, I have received 14 invitations for the first guys who applied in June. And I think I will be getting an update on the second group of people who sent their documents like in the middle of June, and I submitted them like in July. So the invitations are now coming, so don't be afraid. There is no need to worry. And I have already seen that the people who were frequently asking me about the invitations are present here. Yeah, so guys, don't be afraid. I will send the invitations after I scan them, because the police just printed the invitations out. So just within a couple of hours after we finish the presentation, I'm sending you those long-awaited things. Yeah, so about the things that you will have to do before you travel to Russia, the first thing is that you will have to get the PCR test 3 days before your arrival to Russia. So after the result comes as negative, then you can like notify the adaptation center. There is a link to the form here. I will also send it, like it will be indicated in my general email, which will be sent to you along with the visa invitation. So you just have to notify the adaptation center. This is one of the most important things, because they will be the first people whom you will be in contact with before and after you arrive here. They will also link you with your volunteer if you will need help here, and I suppose that definitely you will need some help. Yeah, so and they are also the people who will be responsible for the accommodation of yours after you arrive here to Russia. Yeah, so you have to notify them at least 10 days before your arrival. I think you will just send them the tickets, the flight tickets that you will buy, and just write who you are, send your passport. Yeah, so they will also come in contact with you after some time. Then you will have to take the next PCR test after you arrive to Russia within the first 72 hours. So this is also important for the adaptation center, because you will have to hand them over 2 negative PCR tests in order to get the special paper which will allow you to study on campus and come to the university and like get the room at the dormitory if you want to get the room there. So this is a very important paper. So you have to undergo the second PCR testing after you arrive to Russia within the first 72 hours. Yeah. Yeah, and before you get the negative result, after you travel to Russia, you have to stay in the self-isolation. The adaptation center will also guide you in this process, I believe. They will provide the special dormitory which was devoted, like which is given to the people who are traveling to Russia, and yeah, you will be staying there for 1-2 days, I suppose, before your second negative result comes. Yeah, next slide, please. So here is here's us, basically, the contact people that will be guiding you. You can ask us all the questions. I think probably I will be answering more technical questions, and Julia, who has just finished her speech, she will be answering the questions related to the studying process mostly. So here are our emails. I think you have mine, definitely. And yeah, so these are the general things that you will need. Please take a look at them closely. Yeah, and the final slide. Yeah, so here is our social media, guys. You please subscribe and just be with us. All the important information and some more extra things you will be receiving via these social media channels that we have. Yeah, and the next slide. Thank you for your attention. Yeah, it was very nice speaking to you, waiting for your questions now.
Okay, dear students, yeah, at last I found the camera. So now it's high time for you to ask your questions. I suppose you have a lot of them. So please text us in a mail, in a chat box we'll be glad to answer all of them. And I saw some of you had sound problems. Don't worry. After our presentation, they're going to be mailed out with their Zoom recording of this meeting, and I hope everything will be fine there, so you'll be able to watch for the second time and find all needed information. So and so far I have the first question. Sorry. My question is, I'm from India, and India-Russia border is open. So can you please issue me invitation letter, Mike?
Yeah, so I suppose that your visa invitation is now being processed. Basically, I think I will check on all the students from India that we have. I think either I have already received your visa invitation and it is with me, and I will send it to you within like 2 hours, or I think you're the yeah, I think I remember you. Yeah, and I believe that your invitation is now being processed, so it will come in the like several weeks, maybe like couple of 2-3 weeks. So I can't tell you exactly like when it will come, because there is a slight delay from the governmental side. But as soon as the invitation is ready, we're going to forward it to you. There is no worry about that.
Thank you, Mikhail. There was a question about, yeah, thank you. If I did my vaccination, do I need to do a PCR test? I have my sanitary pass. Mikhail?
Yeah, as of now, the vaccination will not cancel the fact that you will have to like undergo this PCR testing. Maybe there will be some updates about this in the future, but as of today, despite the fact that you have like the vaccine, you will have to make like you will have to get one negative PCR test before your arrival and the second PCR test after you arrive to Russia. So it does not, yeah, the vaccine does not influence this fact. You will have to take this PCR tests.
When will be all international students going to be Russia? I think I misunderstood this question, but probably when all international students will be permitted to come to Russia freely. Mike?
Yeah, so I think recently we have all been reading on the internet about the new regulations introduced by the government, and we really hope that they will finalize the documents and the procedures that they were promising to finalize. Maybe this week, by the end of the week, maybe next week, we will get some instructions from the government. How should we act? Because as of now, there are still like open countries and closed countries, but I hope that in the nearest future the government will finalize everything, and once they do finalize these documents and procedures, we will definitely update you on the following.
The intermediate exams are in winter. When will the exact dates be announced? And I assume it can be done online too. I think this is a midterm exam is mentioned here. Maria?
Thank you for the question. I think that we will come back to the exact dates closer to the, I think, December. And as soon as the education process will be online, the exams will be done online as well. But if you are going to be offline, if you're going to come to Russia, your exams will be here in a classroom.
Thank you. Good morning. When will the study start?
So usually the academic year starts from the 1st of September. Since the 1st of September, we are going to send you letters, the greeting letters from the preparatory department. Within 2 weeks, you will be sorted into the groups, and the education itself starts since 13th of September. But if you are definitely going to come, so we recommend you to start online and then continue offline your education process.
Thank you. Some
Hello,
sort of
please, who meets me at the borders once I arrive? I mean, like, who meets me at the borders when I arrive?
excuse me, we have a very bad connection. We can't hear you properly. Please type your question into the chat box, please, because really the connection is
please.
awful. Yeah, sorry. The next question, hi, what should I do?
Okay.
It's sort of philosophical question, but I think it is about all procedures. We have already mentioned them today. So I think we will send you their guide, right? What should you do step by step later after our meeting today. And also you will have a recording of today's meeting. So you will find all information there. Then, I did the procedures in August to have my invitation visa. Do you think it will be ready soon? Because you spoke about students who asked for it in June, that they will have it soon. Mike?
Usually the procedure takes around 40 working days after you complete the prepayment part. So I think you just have to count around 30 working days, which makes it around like 45 usual days. So 1.5 months approximately it takes for the invitation to get ready. So hopefully somewhere in the end of September, the invitation will come to us and I will send it to you.
Thank you. Good morning from Brazil. Good morning to Brazil from Russia. I would like to know who already been vaccinated needs to do the quarantine for 72 hours.
Yeah, so the procedures are the same for everyone. So it does not matter whether you were vaccinated or not. So you will have to undergo the this period of self-isolation for 72 hours. It's not actually 72 hours, but within the 72 hours after your arrival to Russia, you have to take the second PCR test, and after the results of this second PCR test come, then you no longer have to stay in self-isolation. So basically the rules are equal for everyone.
Please, may I ask your self-students accommodation process to your university? So I think the question is that can the students be accommodated personally in their flats or private houses, not in dormitory?
Yeah, so the students can choose whether to stay at the dormitory or to stay somewhere outside, but there is one thing they have to remember about is the registration. This is the official procedure, and you have to ask the owner of the flat, or if you will be staying somewhere at the hostel as well, the hostel has to provide you with the registration, because this is obligatory for you to get the visa prolongation. So this is number one. And number two, simply the university will get fined if you will not have the registration, and the police will find out about this thing. And this is basically the general thing that you have to do, but you can stay outside. And regarding the accommodation at the dormitory, the adaptation center will guide you in this process. I will send all the required emails. I think we have already mentioned the email of the adaptation center here, and in the future there is no worries. Again, I will send you a separate PDF file. You will have all the instructions how to get into the dormitory and which documents you need and whom you will have to contact.
Okay, thank you. So the reply is it's possible, but first of all, please be sure 100% that the flat owner is ready to do this procedure for you. So the next question is, I'm Mr. Milad from Egypt, and I can't learn online. And Mikhail told me I'm their invitation. I will get invitation after a month of work. Mike?
Yeah, so I think your invitation is being processed. Either we have already received it or like it will come again in the upcoming weeks. It takes like from the point where you have made the prepayment, it takes around 30 working days. It's like not the usual days, but like 30 working days, which makes it like
Please,
45
how many students
usually.
can sleep in one dormitory?
Yeah. So once the invitation is ready, like we are not holding it from our side. So the documents which we like sent to our visa department are being passed to the police, basically to the governmental structure, and they are being processed by that structure, not us. So we are just simply waiting as well as you. Yeah, and once it is ready, we will send it to you. No worries.
Okay, thank you. I live in Iran, and maybe our government won't provide for us as long time. So please let me know what's your guidance. Provide you with what? Please, could you write here a user with a nickname Galaxy Tab A? Please tell us a few more details. What is your question is exactly about? So the next, vaccinated is mandatory and medical insurance is a compulsory. When I come in Russia, because my friend study in UrFU, he said me, when you come in Russia, then you can do medical insurance. Right?
Yeah, so the medical insurance is obviously mandatory because you will be in another country and you have to be like insured. I will send the contacts of the people where you can get this like medical insurance online. Or the adaptation center can also guide you in this process. And what was the other? You can buy the medical insurance upon your arrival to Russia. This is like one option, or you can buy it beforehand. You can get it online. So there is like the second possibility. So it depends on you.
Yes, but if you buy your medical insurance online, the main thing is that in Russia, there needs to be a representative company of your company. It's really important. So there are two options, but when you buy your insurance online, ask about representatives of medical companies in Russia, whether they have it or not.
Yeah, and about the vaccination, it is actually not mandatory to be vaccinated if you are traveling to Russia. And I suppose that in the news which were posted by the government, it was promised that all the incoming students will be able to get a vaccine after they travel to Russia. So there is no need like to take any vaccine from your country. You can get it here.
Okay, I'm from Italy. Can you update me about visa? Need I do vaccine to arrive in Russia, or it's enough COVID test? Thanks.
Yeah, about your visa invitation, I think it will be ready again very soon. And about the vaccine, as I have previously told, about maybe you have written the question a bit earlier, before I spoke about this, but the rules are completely the same for everyone, despite the whether you have the vaccination or not, you will have to undergo this PCR testing, one test before arrival to Russia, the second test after you travel to Russia. This is obligatory for everyone.
Okay, hello, my name is Ba Emmanuel from Ghana. Please, my question is, how much money does it take to inject the COVID-19 vaccine when I arrive?
This is a good question. I suppose that we will have some updates in the future, and our medical office will update us about on this topic. But as of now, we are not sure about the pricing, etc. So it is the question for the future.
Okay, thank you. Can we speak directly instead of writing? Yes, you can, but sometimes some problems, technical problems appear. So, but if you want, you can ask it directly after we finish all written questions, please. Thank you. When will their admission notice be issued?
Do you mean like the letter that you're officially enrolled as the student? I think that you will just have to direct it to us, maybe to me personally, and on the 1st of September, I think you will be already like officially a student of the university, and we will get this paper ready for you. And once it will be signed by our director, we will just send it to you. So I think you will just have to send us this request personally to my email, which you saw in the previous slides, and we will send this letter to you on the 1st of September.
Well, one of our students doesn't speak English, speaks just Arabic. We are sorry, but we can't translate to Arabic, unfortunately. But when we will send when we send the information and the guidance to you, you can translate it easily from English to your language. Unfortunately, this interpretation is not available so far to Arabic, English, and Russian.
Алло, здрасте. Могу задавать вопрос, да?
Да, давайте.
Меня зовут Кардозу. Я уже сам из России, но вопрос именно касаемо моему брату. Вот так. Я бы хотел знать именно точно, примерно до какого числа мы можем ожидать приглашение сюда, в Россию. Вот такой мой вопрос именно.
Okay, I will translate this question to the rest of the students for them to understand, okay? How many days it will take to get the invitation for you, for your brother? Okay, Mike, can you please answer?
Не знаю, ответить на русском сначала, потом на английском.
Ну, можно
Да.
так, да.
Здравствуйте. В общем, приглашение вашего брата, я еще про него спросил сегодня, и оно должно было прийти вместе со всеми остальными, которые задерживались, но пока на данный момент оно еще задерживается. Я, получается, на следующей, или нет, на этой неделе они еще поедут в МВД, коллеги мои, и уже уточнят по поводу приглашения, потому что оно 100% уже должно было быть, уже давно достаточно. То есть, ну, пока что ждем.
Окей. Тогда есть маленькая задержка, да, именно тогда.
Ну да. Но как только будет готово, опять же ждем. Ну, я спрашиваю про него каждый день, можно сказать.
Хорошо, спасибо, Михаил.
Не за что.
Okay, more than 45 days that I'm waiting and I have not received my invitation. Can you tell me, Mr. Mikhail, when I can get it? Mr. Mikhail, please.
Yes, we have already received your invitation, and today I will send it to you. So my colleagues just came back from the police and they printed it out, and we have some 14 guys who have received their invitations, and they will get it today. Your invitation in that list.
Okay, thank you. Good news. Hello, after I receive my visa, can I travel from any country, or should I travel only from the country in which I received the visa?
I think that you will receive the visa in the specified country, in the specified city, and this is exactly the place where you will have to travel from, because I think it is the question, yeah. So the place where you will get the visa, just buy the tickets from there, and maybe there will be some transit country, but just travel from the same place.
Yeah, but we highly recommend you to call the embassy where you applied for the visa, and they can consultate you in a more detailed way. So we can't know everything about this process. So I have friends in Yekaterinburg. That's very good. Can I quarantine at their house, or do I have to go to isolate at a certain location?
I think that before your arrival to Russia, when you will be notifying the adaptation center, you can ask them this question, and they will guide you about this procedure. I think that you should better stay at the university's place, yeah, because if you stay at some other place where people will be around you, like the self-isolation will make very less sense. Yeah, it will be better if you stay alone.
And also keep in mind about the registration procedure. When you arrive to Russia, you have to be registered on the address you are living in within 3 days period. That's why you'd better live in the dormitory on some university location, just to avoid all these procedures, which will and can bring you a lot of problems.
What about students from Egypt? When will receive the invitation, please? I have bad connection. Thank you. Mike?
Some of the students from Egypt have already, I have received their invitations. Some of the invitations are being processed. So basically, I will send part of the invitations today, and then once I will get the new invitations, I will be sending them to the students or to the representatives who submitted the documents of the students. So this is the question. This is the answer to your question. Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me, it was a problem in voice, but now it is okay. My question is, how can I join and the procedures? So we have already mentioned all the procedures step by step. After this meeting, we will send you the guidance list. What should you do exactly in the university before arrival, after arrival, etc. So please check your mails, and you will get the information there in details. The next, does everyone who follow the class is supposed to have the same level of English? For example, speaking about myself, my English is not perfect. Other question, to be sure I understood, when do the offline classes start and the onlines?
Well, first of all, I'd like to tell you that there is, it's not necessary to know English. The main thing is to study Russian. And even maybe it's sometimes better to have no knowledge of English at all in order to dive into Russian language itself. So you shouldn't worry about it. We just need you to come and we will teach you how to speak Russian. And the other question is about offline classes start and online classes. We start our academic year from the 13th of September with the first classes. But as soon as you have some difficulties, some delay, you are going to come, but you come late, for example, you shouldn't worry. We will try to place you in a certain group which correlates to your level. If you are have no knowledge of Russian, you will start from the very beginning. But we'd like to start the process more or less simultaneously. That's why we ask you not to hesitate. And maybe if you feel that you are a little bit late to arrive to Russia, you can start your study process online and then continue.
Thank you. Do you send me after meeting? That was a question from the same person, Sabri Tamer. Yes, we are going to make a mail out today with the recording of this meeting and as well as a guide list for all the students. The next question, can Chinese students go to the university in September, and when can Chinese students receive their invitation?
So I think I have already received part of the invitations of our Chinese students. Again, after the meeting, I'm going to send them to the people who are in that list. And again, the invitations are being processed now. And again, once they're ready, I am sending it to you. So we have to just wait and be patient. Yeah, and either way, your classes will start online. So you will not be missing out on anything. You will get like the complete course which you paid for. There is like absolutely nothing to worry about.
Thank you. The next question is in Russian. Здравствуйте, меня зовут Кардозу из Анголы. This question in Russian we have already mentioned, and it got their reply. The next question. I'm from Egypt and want to know when I have the invitation. We have already mentioned that, right? We'll repeat it, Mike, please, for all Egyptian students.
For everyone, guys, whose invitations are being processed now, I will be sending them like once I will be getting them from the visa department, from the government. So I cannot send the invitation from myself. Basically, I have to wait for like the governmental structure. So once the invitation is ready, I'm sending it to you. There is like no need for me to hold it back. Yeah. So once it is ready, I'm sending it to you guys. No need to worry.
Okay, thank you. Hi, I'm from China. My question is, can I apply for online teaching for the second half of the year? So did we understand correct that the first part you want to study, for example, offline here, being in Russia, and after winter and spring, you plan to go back to China? Please text us, give us more details. Please, about students from Egypt, are they will study online or not? Thanks.
So I think, as Maria mentioned several times, all the students will start studying online, and once the invitations are ready, the students will travel to Russia and then continue their studying process here on campus.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for causing mistakes. It's okay. Our government in Iran maybe won't provide us with vaccine. So what should I do? I mean that can I travel to your country without vaccination? Yes, we have already mentioned that several times, that vaccination is not obligatory to come to Russia, but Pcr test is obligatory. But there is an opportunity for international students to get vaccinated later after their arrival. Hello, I'm from Bangladesh. May you ask that how can I buy medical insurance on university by any company? Is it by online by your university, and how much per year for self-students? Thanks in advance.
I think that I will send you the contacts of which the adaptation center shared with us. You can directly ask these people if you want to buy the medical insurance online. The second possibility for you is to buy the medical insurance here on campus after you will be in Russia. So I cannot tell you the exact price, as from the last year's experience. I think this costed some 3,000, I suppose, 3,500, and this medical insurance, rubles, Russian rubles, and this also included the PCR testing. But I cannot tell you whether the prices were like changed this year, so you will have to ask directly either like before your arrival to Russia.
Hello, I'm a student from Iran. I would like to know when the borders will be opened with Iran and I will be able to receive the invitation. Thank you.
So we are waiting for the news from our government, as I have already mentioned several times. So simply we cannot tell you the exact day when the borders will be opened, but in the upcoming 1-2 weeks we will have some updates and instructions from our government, and after that we will inform all our students and about the procedures, what you should do how much time will you have to wait, etc., etc. So guys, for everyone, yeah, guys from the closed countries will have to wait for some update from our government, and once we get it, we will share it with you. Before that moment, your studying process will be online.
I'm from Egypt, and my invitation was more than the time specified for it. Is there a specific date by which I will receive it, knowing that I came in the month of May?
I think that your invitation came to me today as well, so I think I will forward it to you after this meeting.
As an official member of the university, does this give students access to other areas of the campus, for example, Mensa, the canteen, or sports on campus?
So as soon as you are a student of Ural Federal University, you get an access to all the facilities of the university without any limitations. Maybe there are some rules, for example, to visit gym, but as far as it is open, you are welcome and you can join. There are no limitations.
Hello, everyone. Do you have the possibility to receive me from the airport when I will arrive the city of Yekaterinburg? Thank you.
Yeah, you will have to fill in the form that I will send to you along with your visa invitation. You can ask the adaptation center for that, and they will come in contact with the volunteers, which will have a chance, and I think they will pick you up from the airport and take you to the place of your future self-isolation.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to emphasize as well that please take into consideration that we can pick up students from the airport of Yekaterinburg only. If you arrive to Moscow or to any other city, please be sure you should buy the ticket from Moscow to Yekaterinburg because we had such cases before. Just a second. Are all invitations proceeded, or are the invitations of students from countries with open borders with Russia only being examined?
As I have mentioned before, if you are from the list of closed countries, we are waiting for the information from the government. If your country is in the list of open, then your invitation is being processed currently, and once it will be ready, we will send it to you.
I'd like to ask when the entrance test is.
So the entrance test, if you want to pass the test of the Russian language, will be from the 1st to the 12th of September. So you will get an invitation from Ms. Julia. She will send you the information, and with your reply, you will agree when and how you are going to pass your entrance test.
Okay, the next question is from the student from India. I have already started last 3 months, and I know basic Russian, only a little, so languages create problem for me at the airport or when I go outside of the airport. How can I talk and take local transport to come dormitory? Because my friend said no one know Russian. I think no one know English at the airport and outside. So how can I manage? Mike.
So the volunteer will guide you, will help you with this process. Basically, just notify make sure that the adaptation center, you have notified the adaptation center that you need the airport pickup, and the volunteer will help you with all these procedures.
Yeah, first of all, is like what Michael said, and actually in the university, at the airport, people speak English, must speak at least. And also if you reject the option to get this pickup from the university at the airport, you may download the application like of taxi, like Uber or Yandex Taxi. They are available even in English, and so you can manage it easily. When will the invitation be sent? we have already mentioned, as soon as we get them, immediately we send them to the students, and you all should take into consideration again that this is not the university which issues these invitations. It is from the government. So here may be some delays. Can I take connected flight via Dubai or not? Excuse me, but you should apply to their airlines company to check, to find their reply to this question. Does quarantine happen in students' housing, or does the student rent an apartment?
So there are two possible options again. If there will be free places in the place, like in a special place which is devoted to the like quarantine process, to the quarantine things, if there will be free places, then you will be staying there. If there will be no free places, then the adaptation center will advise you and guide you with the hostel option, so you can take a like room at the hostel and stay there until you get the second negative PCR. So there are two possibilities, and you will understand like which option of those two will be suitable for you, I think, upon your arrival to Russia.
Здравствуйте, я спрашиваю за супруга. Скажите, мой супруг не может учиться онлайн, ему нужно только офлайн. Когда начнется учеба офлайн, поточнее? I will translate the question. Hello, I'm asking for my husband. Could you please tell me when the offline part will start exactly? In more details, please.
Пока никаких точных дат назвать мы вам не сможем. Почему? Потому что для этого нужно первое, чтобы ваш супруг физически присутствовал, приехал в Россию. И необходимо, чтобы была собрана группа. То есть эти два критерия очень важные. Как только эти два критерия будут соблюдены, учеба начнется именно в режиме офлайн. Поэтому уточните нам, пожалуйста, где вы сейчас, ваш супруг находится.
When I will be in Russia.
В России.
Да, хорошо, услышала вас. Тогда мы должны с вами быть на связи. Мы уведомим сразу же, как только начнутся занятия в очном режиме.
Хорошо, спасибо.
Thank you. When I will be in Russia with your visa, can I return in my country for a vacation and then return in Russia? Thanks. Actually, you can do that being in Russia. For example, our students did that, but we should take into account the situation with the COVID-19 here and vaccination process. Before it was possible for vacations to students to go to Europe or to their own countries. Nowadays, it depends a lot.
And also take care about, be very careful whether it's a one-way or one entry visa or multiple entry visa. If it's one entry visa, you won't be able to come back. But as soon as you arrive to Russia, your visa will be prolonged and it will be issued as a multiple way visa. Only having a multiple way visa, you can leave Russia and come back to Russia.
Yeah, and also make sure that after you leave Russia, there is a chance that the borders will be closed. This happened to our students, I think, who were studying in 2019, 2020. So I think it makes sense for you to stay here in Russia and like study the language here in the culture.
Okay, thank you.
Здрасте, можно вопрос задам? Извините, пожалуйста. Раз вы вот как раз про визы говорите,
Давайте.
осмелюсь вопрос задать. Какого типа будет виза и возможно ли будет с ней получить сим-карту и банковскую карту человеку? Вот это вопрос. Спасибо.
Да, ну, тип визы, я думаю, не влияет. Банковские карты у нас, да, то есть нужен будет паспорт, да, учебная виза будет обыкновенная. Банковские карты здесь у нас давали всем студентам, то есть им просто нужен был паспорт. Вот, и сим-карты, я думаю, тоже там не было никаких проблем, тоже нужен был паспорт, по-моему, и виза, и все.
Всё понял, спасибо.
Okay, thank you very much for your understanding and important information. Thank you. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for asking these questions. Yeah, the next message is about to stop asking about invitation to Mr. Mikhail. Mr. Mikhail will send all the invitations as soon as he gets them.
Well, it was my quotation. I was waiting to tell you that as soon as Michael gets your invitation, he will immediately send you all the invitations.
I want to tell you that I have one of my relatives in a professor in Navjert. I didn't understand this word, so I think he can help me there. Yes, of course, if you have some relatives here, they can help you with going around, see the sightseeing. But of course, for the legal procedures, please apply to us, because sometimes common people can't get all information about of legal procedures, about visa, dormitory, registration, etc. And as you know, in Russia, there are very strict rules about all these visa points and registration. Thanks for your nice reply. Thank you. Is the vaccine a prerequisite for entering Russia? No, we have already mentioned that vaccine is not obligatory. And anyway, if even you have had your vaccine before, anyway, you should have PCR test by coming to Russia. And I wait the documents on my mail. Yes, today after their meeting. К сожалению, я не говорю по-английски, поэтому я пока ничего не понимаю из того, что он сказал. You will get a person doesn't speak English, so that's why for those people who don't speak Russian or don't speak English, we will send the guide for the next steps, and you can translate it to your own language yourself from the English text or Russian text to your native language. Unfortunately, we can't speak every language in the world, sorry. Is this possible if you give us a WhatsApp number from university so we can contact you later if a question came up? On our minds. We have actually, we don't share the contacts via WhatsApp, but you always have in this slide, you may see our contact information, our mail, also group in ВКонтакте, so you can ask us any question there. Okay, yes, we will send you, мы отправим вам, если вы говорите по-русски, мы отправим вам гид на русском или на английском языке, и вы сможете перевести на свой язык. The next question, how easy is it for students to get a local SIM, local bank account? It's very easy. All of our students did that and do that every year, so there is no problem. We have a bank office here in the main campus, and also SIM card. Please ask the volunteers to help you with that when you arrive. Are the virtual classes on Zoom or some learning portal? Good question, thank you.
Yes, you're absolutely right. The lectures and seminars are taking place on Zoom platform, but also we have our university learning system, so-called Moodle, where all the exercises, practice, phonetic classes are taking place. That's why there are two options, Zoom and Moodle.
Would you please also tell what's the reference we have to study for learning Russian language and passing distance exam? Thank you very much. What are the main, we didn't understand clearly you, please give us a more detailed question, but you shouldn't have any preparation before coming here. I mean, in language, if you mean in Russian language, you will have a test. And the test is not to cancel you or accept you. It's for us, for our teachers, to understand your level and to fit in a proper program, in a proper level group. So that is, no, I think no preparation is needed. Yes, for the Russian language test, when it will be and what should prepare? Yeah, Maria.
So the Russian language test will take place from the 1st to 12th of September. There is no preparation needed for this test, just it's for us, it's not for you. If you have never ever spoke Russian at all and have no knowledge of Russian, you don't need to pass this test. It's only for those who have some initial knowledge of Russian language or some practice. It's just for them. So if you are the beginner, no test is needed.
Thank you, Maria. If someone takes the vaccine, does he have to go into quarantine? We have already mentioned that. Mike?
Yeah, and this is like not the quarantine, which was previously, because this is just a 1-2 day time for you to get the second negative PCR test results. So you will have to stay in self-isolation, yeah, for some time, 1-2 days maximum.
What is a PCR test? PCR test is a Pcr test. If you speak Russian, it's I found polymerase chain reaction test. If it gives you any extra information, this is a common test when they get the material from your nose and glottis to make a simple test for COVID. I think everybody had it in this time of COVID-19. Thank you so much all thank you very much. You all cleared my every doubts I'm from India and I'm very excited how I'm lucky to take admission in UrFU. This is my favorite university in the whole world. Thank you very much. Yeah, love. Thank you. We're also happy to have you all. Hope to see you here personally. After receiving the invitation, how long does it take to issue a visa from the Russian embassy?
So it will depend on the embassy in your country, actually. You will have to contact them in advance, I suppose, and then they will tell you how much time exactly will the procedure take, and if there is any queue for you to be like before you come there. So you should set an appointment with them and then just directly apply to them and speak to them, okay?
Hello, excuse me, according the PowerPoint, the midterm exam is in winter 2022 and final exam is in June 2022. Maybe it should be winter 2021, like December, right? Thank you.
No, there is no mistake. Usually all the exams take place in January and then students have holidays till February. That's why it's written winter 2022, because it will be in January 2022.
Okay, when semester will start for preparatory department again?
So we are starting in September. All information you will receive by mail. The main thing is to contact our RFL at urfu.ru email address if you receive nothing. But if you receive our invitation letter, just answer us, please.
Thanks. What is the normal schedule for classes? Julia? Yeah, Julia has already mentioned that usually we have 6-8 webinars per week. So also you will get their schedule, the detailed schedule soon. Thank you. What about those who were vaccinated in Russia?
Yeah, so basically the same procedure again. So the same rules apply for everyone.
Okay. Can we take an appointment with the visa center before we receive the invitation to save time to arrive in Russia faster? I mean, when you say 45 days or 30 working days, can we be sure that it will not take more time than this?
Yeah, answering your questions, I would say that we cannot be sure that this will take more than that, but hoping that from September our governmental structures will be focused on work, because we had like some delays for our students who applied in June, July. There was some delay, but starting from September, I suppose that all the structures of the government will be focused on their work, and there will not be any delays. I hope that they will work on their mistakes now, and but I would not advise you to set an appointment before. Maybe if there is a possibility for you to like set an appointment and then call the embassy to delay it, then it makes sense. But I don't know, you should speak directly to the embassy. I think they understand this situation, and they have already faced people who were like sent the invitations a bit later than they were promised.
After finish preparatory course entrance exam, is it difficult to take admission in bachelor's degree?
Well, usually it is not so very difficult. Being students of preparatory department gives you some kind of advantages in taking exams. Usually there are two exams. One of them is the Russian language, which is your final test results, and then the subject. It depends on the direction you choose. So it's not difficult. Everything is possible.
The next question is in Russian. Добрый день, важная информация. Прошу вас по-русски. Спасибо большое. Окей, Лю, Лили, вы можете спросить нас по-русски, мы все равно должны перевести на английский, так как большинство слушателей говорят по-английски. Напишите нам по-русски. Please, how I know the border in my country is open with Russia? I'm from Egypt. Thanks.
So the borders between Egypt and Russia are now open, and I don't know what to what to say, because I think your invitation is now being processed. So basically, we just have to wait for it, and then you apply for the embassy, get the visa, and travel to Russia. So the borders are now open with Egypt, especially. So just waiting for the invitation.
Okay, thank you. I don't see any more questions. So if those people who raised their hands to, okay, I see one more. Thank you for your cooperation together. Indeed, a great university in a great country that respects a man. Thank you for trusting us, for choosing the Ural Federal University. It's a real pleasure to work with international students. We are looking forward to seeing you here from any country. Please, we are also looking forward from our government to tell us good news, not less than you actually. So yes, thank you very much. From Egypt, I thank you, hope to join you. Thanks everybody. Thank you. If you don't have any more questions, I think it's a good time we finish our meeting. Yes, great job. Looking forward to it. Hope everyone has fun and gets what they want out of it. So yeah, on behalf of the Ural Federal University, may I wish you good luck, profound knowledge getting, and new experience, new friends making. So everything should be perfect here. Okay, if you have any more questions, please ask via our mail, official mail. Also, their recording will be available soon after the meeting, and the guide with their detailed steps which to follow by arrival here to Russia. Thank you very much for being with us today, and goodbye. Have a nice day.
Goodbye.